Hi, today we are going to be talking about Thomas Jefferson, the third President of America, who was also the author and a signer of the Declaration of Independence, and who also had the negotiation with France to double the size of the United States. Thomas Jefferson was born in Albemarle County, Virginia, on April 13th, 1743. Thomas Jefferson was also born into a wealthy family on a farm, with his 6 sisters and 3 brothers growing up. Thomas Jefferson died on July 4th, 1826, in Monticello, Virginia, just within a few hours of when John Adams died, the previous president who put Thomas Jefferson as vice president. Thomas Jefferson was a lawyer, politician, and statesman before he became president. In 1797, Thomas Jefferson became vice president under the presidency John Adams, which later on he became president, serving from 1801 to 1809. But sadly, his wife passed away 19 years before he became president, so there was no first lady. Thomas Jefferson ended up marrying Martha Wales Skelton Jefferson as his first wife. Martha died 12 years later, but they did have 6 children, and only 2 of them survived until adulthood, whereafter he had a relationship with a mixed-race slave who had fatherhood with 2 of his 6 children. Thomas Jefferson belonged to the Democratic Republican Party, which when he was chosen to become president when he was 57 years old, during his presidency he worked hard to keep the United States out of the French Napoleonic Wars. While Thomas Jefferson was president, he picked Aaron Burr and George Clinton as vice presidents for his terms. Thomas Jefferson was a very tall man, being 6'2.5". When he grew older, his hair started to whiten after his red hair turned sandy. Thomas Jefferson also enslaved just like any other man at his time period would have. Thomas Jefferson started shaking hands with people instead of bowing to greet guests. Also, his face was carved onto Mount Rushmore because of all the accomplishments and impacts he had on the United States. Thomas Jefferson played a key role in many major events during the United States time during his presidency, such as the Barbary Wars from 1801 to 1805, as well as the Louisiana Purchase, and being the signing and author of the Declaration of Independence. Although the Declaration of Independence wasn't made during his presidency, it was made way before that. During Thomas Jefferson's life, he suffered many sicknesses, but he suffered from a really bad one called tuberculosis, which was the most killer disease of the century at the time. The disease attacks the lungs, which makes it hard to breathe. Tuberculosis was also called the White Plague. He died at the age of 83 of other causes besides tuberculosis, though, although it was a factor. Thomas Jefferson died of natural causes like dehydration. Him and John Adams died July 4th, 1826, within a couple hours of each other. Thomas Jefferson died at the age of 83 and was buried in Monticello in Virginia. After Thomas Jefferson died, the next president was James Madison. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the video on Thomas Jefferson and the story of his life.